and welcome back to part 9 of Neptunia VIIR, where this time, with the help of Iffy and Compa, Neptune's long-lost best friends, we're going to try and find a way to restore Histoire so we can try and find an alternate means of getting Nepgear home. We say long-lost because in the last game they weren't playable at all, but in the first 2 Neptunia games, they were the first 2 party members you got. You got Compa and then you got Iffy, and those 2 pulled you through the whole of the early game, because although they're not goddesses even remotely, they're still pretty powerful. Now then, we were able to find the instruction manual, but there's too many sections with if you think she's broken then as the header, so it might take a while to find. Let's try this simple diagnostic sheet. All it's got to do is answer yes or no to the questions in it. That kinda looks like fun, let's give it a try. Alright, I'll start. Is she unconscious? Yes. Next is, has her body gone cold? Nope. Next is she automatically restarting repeatedly? That looks like a no. Next is, did she try completing a task beyond the specifications? What's with this incredibly pinpointed question? So what's the answer, Nep? Now that I think about it, Histy mentioned trying something way above her specs before she passed out. As expected of Histoire, she left a helpful clue when taking her last few breaths. How nice. Well there, Compa, don't just kill her off like that. Okay, well let's answer yes to that one, so that leads to... She has short-circuited, please apply the Sanshiro Soulful Patch. She will revive with sheer willpower. Revive with sheer willpower? That's a pretty vague repair method. But if it's all we can rely on, then we have to try finding that patch. You're right, I guess that's where we're at then. Nep, sorry for asking right after you got back, but can you go look for it? You got it? Wait, from your wording just now, does that imply you're not coming with me, Iffy? I really do want to go with you, but we can't just leave the Basilicom empty. The atmosphere's bad enough because of the CPU shift period. If something were to happen, it'd be a problem. Then how about I stay at the Basilicom and you go look for it? You're more of an expert at finding things. That's true, but what are you going to do if there's some serious crisis in Planetune while I'm gone? Up until now, Histoire managed everything on her own, but can you really take her place in confidence? Well... With the other nations, their CPUs always deal with their internal issues, but you can't. But if you can't, we have no choice but for me to stay. Ugh, you make an extremely good point. Well, you'll come along with me, right, Compa? I want to go too, but it'd be bad if something happened to Histoire, so... Do your best, Nep. Yeah, I figured as much. I'll search for information and clues too, so if I find something helpful, I'll call you. You should try and help Histoire out every once in a while. Good old Iffy and Compa. I love those two. Seriously, Iffy and Compa are such a good, like, bounce of their own character. Also, yeah, you got these weird little side dialogue pieces where Histoire can reflect and in her dreams see things from something going on. I kind of skipped through it because it's not really at all significant right now. There's a lot of hints already at place of something going on between Histoire, and there's also something going on with Uzume, but that's not going to get addressed for so long yet. Without Histy here, I can't do anything for Nepgear, so I gotta work fast. But I'm so bad at looking for stuff. You know, it wouldn't hurt to rely on us once in a while, would it? Hey, best girl! And that's not best girl at all, just a lot of people see her as. Welcome home, Neptune. Welcome back, Neptune. Noir and Uni, why are you two here? IF called and said if you had got caught up in some kind of trouble again, Histoire had fainted, so she asked me to help you. Oh, how very thoughtful of Iffy. But then, isn't it a little fast for you to have gotten here? Those kind of small details don't matter. What's important right now is Histoire and... Oh, I know, I bet you flew over at mug speeds because you wanted to see me so bad. Who would go flying anywhere to come see you? I just thought I'd offer my help as a fellow CPU is all. Oh, there you go again. You never say your feelings honestly. What do you mean by that? It's not like I'd be lonely at all if you never came back. That's just like Neptune. She's always right on the money with Noir. But still, what's Nepgear thinking, letting herself get left behind like that? She hasn't even called to check in with me. I wish she'd be considerate enough about me to know that she's making me worried. Nepgear and Uni are best buds. Noir and Neptune are borderline lovers. Teehee, Nora's a lonely loner. I told you to stop yelling weird things like that in a place like this. Ah! Eh! Ow, ow, ow! You tripped by an innocent bystander. Whose fault do you think that is? Jeez. I'm sorry, you hurt? Oh no, I'm fine. Are you alright? As you can see, I'm perfectly alright. I really am sorry. My companion here is getting herself involved in some ridiculous antics. It's alright. I was lost in thought myself, so we can call it even. Nice of you to say so. Well then, we'll be excusing ourselves. Were those people possibly Lady Neptune and Lady Noir? Acting like complete children? Jeez, because of you I caused someone unnecessary trouble. No matter how you look at it, you're the bad one for being distracted. It's fine to have an argument and all, but I think we should focus on helping Histoire out. Oh, right, of course. I need to find something called the Censuro Soulful Patch. Any of you know where that might be? The SSP is it? I've never heard of the item myself, but Censuro is one of Planeptune's great men. Wouldn't it be located in Planeptune somewhere? If I knew that, I wouldn't be having problems. Let's split up and look for it. We'll be back here in 2 hours. Let's go, Uni. Okay. Noah really never changes. She still helps me out no matter what comes out of her mouth. The epitome of a tsundere. Guess I should get to looking around too. It's kind of like a pre-established rule that Noir does have a humongous crush on Neptune, but she refuses to admit it, and Neptune can see it a mile off, and so she just bullies her on it until she'd admit it. Hello, Blanc. If it isn't Neptune, when did you get back home? I got back just now, actually. I'm actually calling to ask a favour of you. I understand the situation. It's best to for this time to look in books around a time like this. There may be a description written in an old technical document or something like that. As expected of you, Blanc, I never would have thought to look in printed material. I can help you with investigations at least. You better try your best too. It's like having 100 strong men behind me with your help, Blanc. I'll talk to you later. Books, huh? There's a place that has books. Found one, I'll skedaddle on over. And meet more of the locals, probably. Welcome. When you say books, you definitely think of the supermarket. Let's see, the comic book section is over here. So this is the adult magazine that the General requested. However, there are 2 women at the register. This is most troubling. There seems to be a ninja mumbling to himself in the corner of the book section. Game industry sure has its variety of citizens. Here it is. Ooh, new volumes are out of Rolgo 13 and Zobra. Ooh, wait, I'm not here to look for these. Over here. Times like these is where I turn to Net Mystery Reporter, NMR for short, for inspiration. I'll just put this in my basket along with this candy box that has a prize in it. Ring me up, please. This game's sucking weird sometimes. I'm a normal everyday CPU who at the moment is making a mad dash to gather information. If I were to say how I'm different, it's probably because I changed my looks drastically before and after my transformation. My name's Neptune. I came all this way here to this park searching for information on an item that would save a shorted out history. As I casually glanced aside, I saw a young man sitting alone on a bench. Shall we talk about it? I don't really understand how, but I've ended up having a conversation with this handsome loser of a man. So what is it that you wanted to talk to me about? Depending on the topic, I might report you. Please, Mr. Stewart, I'm sorry, but the land quite a ways outside of my strike zone. What I wanted to speak to you about was the CPU of this nation, Lady Neptune. From what I've heard lately, she hasn't shown up for public services, and she's shut herself up to play around. On top of her chest hasn't developed at all these few years now. She's flat as a board. That last point aside, maybe she's had some extenuating circumstances out of her control. You know, she might have been sick or had to go far away for work. I suppose it could be thought of it that way too. I bet you're the kind of guy that takes what's written on the internet as face value. That's why you're so suspicious of the CPU. How did you know? You have that kind of look about your face, but you shouldn't believe those kinds of groundless rumours. A great person once said it's difficult to go on using a forum without being a person capable of seeing through lies. I think you should have a little more confidence in your own convictions. It often happens that malicious people spread strange rumours for fun, you know. You're right. I'm sorry. Thanks to you, I've opened my eyes. I'll be taking my leave now. Whew, I had no idea what would happen with that if you criticised me by name, but I guess things turn out alright sometimes. But geez Louise, who is it? Who's posting weird rumours about me online? I was like she went straight for the fiercest point possible, going for her flat-chestedness. Time to rendezvous, no one's here. Since I probably have time to kill, maybe I'll peruse the book I brought. Secret crop circles, Neprostradamus prophecies, grand crosses and spiritual civilizations, etc, etc. Grand crosses? Fucking Final Fantasy 9. All of them look intriguing, but they don't seem related to the item I'm looking for. Huh? What's this prophecy of the Golden Summit? Oh, I love these sort of occult stories. And even I've never heard of it. Wearing gold armor, he shall stand in game industry, finding the lost people's bonds, he will finally lead them to the Golden Summit. Wait, didn't I just watch a movie or read a manga or something that said something like this? But I don't think it has anything to do with my item search. Sorry to make you wait, did you find anything? Well, I brought a book and read it up, but I've got nothing. When you say book, do you mean that? Yep, but what? You're hopeless. Well, whatever. I'm thirsty from walking so long, so why don't we go for a nice cold drink? You betcha, I'm kind of parched myself. Alright, let's do it. I saw a pretty neat place on the way over, so let's go there. If you're sure about it, we should strike while the oven's hot. Hey, what? Is that even how your saying goes? Why are you running? I haven't even told you where we're going yet. I've arrived! Whoops! Looks like I came way before our meeting time. No one's here yet. A book in this place. Maybe someone forgot it? I think I'll read it a bit. What did you say? At this rate, game industry's gonna fall into ruins. Is there any way to avoid destruction? Found something. Prophecy of the Golden Summit. I'm sure this is it. Hey there, Bisha. Oh, Sisha! I made a huge discovery. Game industry's gonna be destroyed. Huh? It's pretty quiet here, so we should be able to talk at our leisure. Ooh, I'm surprised that such a fancy place exists in Planetune. This is the lobby of your nation's hotel, you know. Oh well, it looks like Blanc and Vert conducted their own investigation, so let's have a meeting through group chat. Uni, please set it up. Leave it to me, Noir. Let's see, you gotta call both Blanc and Vert. Here we go. We've been waiting. Did you find any information? Not at all, and you? I tried studying game industry's ancient documents, but there was nothing about the item we're looking for. I see. What about you, Vert? There was no concrete information, but I did find the location that was a sacred land with the first CPU of Planetune. There's a possibility that the CPU created Histoires left something there. To be honest, that sounds pretty fake. Where did you get that information? Do you have to ask? Enchan, of course. Enchan, isn't that where all the hoaxes and rumours seep out of? Aside from all the lewd pictures of CPU spanking each other. Ugh. Perhaps, but for experts you'd never find these things lurking about these boards. Besides, the Fault Goddess is online too. Oh, that's the MMO I'm currently playing. But a friend from there happens to be a professor of archaeology and history at a certain university, and they had heard the same thing. Which means the best we have is that sacred land. You're going to believe that? This is the map I received from that professor. Wow, what an unexpected windbag to find information on online boards and games. Don't you mean windfall? That's another way of putting it. Then let's all head to this place together. I don't think I've been here before either. In regards to accompanying you, I apologise, but it's difficult for me to offer you any more assistance. Same, I do want to go with you, but my hands are tied up with some domestic difficulties. My reasons are similar. I must catch the parties responsible for spreading false rumours and lies about me. Since this is Vert, I made the assumption that she was busy with online games. Huh, but didn't she mention something about her online friend just now? Well, that can't be helped. The three of us can go then. Right, Noir? Uni? Well, about that, Neptune. You wouldn't be like that, right, Noir? My kindred spirit, best friend, best buddy. How do you always anticipate me like that? Seriously, you two, Noir? It's the CPU shift period. Lust Station's in the same position as those two, with rumours and lies spreading. Then why did you come here? Isn't it busy? Did that... you know... Uni! It was Uni! What?! Uni absolutely had to help out so that Nepgear could get home, and being impressed by her show of friendship, I came to help as her sister. so don't get the wrong idea. Why? What are you saying, Noir? You said to keep that a secret. And besides, you're the one who wanted to see Neptune and was saying she can't do anything without you. God, what kind of nonsense are you spouting? Oh ho ho! So Noir said that. I see. You stop grinning. Jeez, we're going home, Uni. We've already helped out Neptune, so do the rest yourself. I'll do it right. See you later, Neptune. Take care of Nepgear. Ah, Noir, Uni. They left. They didn't even finish drinking the tea they ordered. All by myself. But I was able to find the objective thanks to everyone's help. Better try my best. Alright, I better hurry out. Where should I try looking first? Nep, wait up a second. Oh, Iffy, you're coming with me after all. I managed to catch up. No, I told you we're moving separately. We just got permission to use route buildings. It's an emergency to lay out the route to build it as fast as you can. Route building? What's that? Right now, there are plans to improve the transportation network over the entire nation. They won't be normal roads, but light paths created by share energy. Thanks to the CPU's powers, paths that took days to traverse will take much less time, so people can walk to places they couldn't before. As you know, our economy's not that great lately, so we're trying to stimulate the flow of people and goods. Wow, amazing! So we're switching from analog to optical lines. Normally, this area is going to be moving with your protection. Only one part's been constructed, but since it's an emergency, we have permission from the Basilicom to send the route out. If you specifically point to where you want to use the real building, we'll immediately connect the route to that point. They've also said that Planetune will cover the funds this time. Ooh, how generous! Then I'll go ahead and connect the routes and then head out. Thanks, Iffy. Be careful out there. And this is introducing the idea of route building. Throughout the game, early game they'll only cost you some funds, but later on you'll actually need resources as well for you to build paths out to different locations. Some of them for shortcuts, some of them to access new regions and areas, but it is something that is worth messing with, and it's going to tutorialize you because this one's free, but this is the only one that's free, and we use that to get to this dungeon. A returning dungeon layout from the rest of the series. And this layout, as I do, like, okay, over there's Louis, that's Lust Station, and that's Leanbox. For future reference, so you know where they are. But this layout, although it's a different name, this layout actually originates from the very first Neptunia game. And they've made it HD. They've even brought back the original theme for it as well, when you get to that. Oh, it's a secret out of Planetune's first CPU that Vert was talking about. From what I can see, it doesn't seem different from any other dungeon. Ah, whatever, I have to worry about fixing history first. So this dungeon has its original theme from the first game kind of remixed. Like, it's the same groundwork, but it's almost like they just kind of re-recorded it, so it sounds a little different. And the dungeon layout is exactly the same. All they've done is make the floor more reflective to give off the fact that it's more HD. Like, it never used to be even remotely reflective, it was just a board you walked across. And it also means we're going to be fighting some staples of the series enemies now we're back in Hyperdimension, including the Dogus, which is this game's equivalent of Dragon Quest slimes or the Cactuars from Final Fantasy sort of thing. Like a very iconic franchise-wide enemy that's just always there. But yeah, so if you've played Nep 1, this dungeon is familiar. The biggest difference, because like I said, the jump height you start with in this game is the level 2 jump height in the rest of the series. So there's going to be platforms in here that your level 1 jump in the previous Nep games wouldn't actually get you up, but now we can climb up without worry. Because yeah, you'll see it when we get to those platforms. Yes, your jumps really were that tiny at level 1, you could not get up them. And because sprinting wasn't introduced until this game, that the height you was jumping at was the only height you was ever getting. Until you upgraded your jump, which in the first game and third game really didn't take that much to get it. Like the third game, you kind of just get it along the route. But the second one, I never, believe it or not, despite how much I did of Rebirth 2, I never actually got it. And so there was one optional dungeon I could never get to the other side of, because I could just never find it, and I refused to look up a walkthrough. I wanted to do it all by myself. In the first and third game, I managed to get the true endings. The second game, I had to glance at a guide to get the true ending because there's like 10 bloody endings. And I didn't want to stumble into the wrong one. And then I realised every single ending but the normal one has an aggravating grind wall of some kind that you need to go through to get. The exception being the conquest ending. But the conquest ending is like... it's like the siding with a Adachi ending in Persona 4. Like, you should just feel bad. Also, yes, we're getting a new normal battle theme. Each dimension has its own unique battle theme. And so this is Hyperdimension's battle theme. The one that, I'm going to warn you now, is going to be the one they're going to hear the most. Because you spend more time in Hyperdimension than any other dimension in the game. We do, like, spend more time in Zero Dimension even after the Zero Dimension story arc is finished. We do spend more time going in there on occasion. And the third dimension that I won't spoil yet, is only really there for the end game, so it isn't that long, there isn't that much to do in it, kind of thing. But these platforms here, this platform we're walking across now, you couldn't jump up this, you had to go around for it. You couldn't jump that. I'm not kidding. You could not jump up that, your jump was that pathetic. If you drop down this bit here, you couldn't jump back up, which is why that teleport is there. Because it's a carryover from the original layout of this dungeon. It is just the original dungeon, just made HD. But throughout this, you're going to collect the purple gear in this dungeon. The base purple is actually Neptune's original gear. In every game since then, they've given her a new armor set, but always giving you the ability to get the older armor set, the old look. And throughout this whole dungeon, we're going to get her Nep 1 armor set, which I'm going to equip all of it because it's statistically superior in every way at this point. And it's going to be because the only armors you can have right now is going to be of a low rank. And keep in mind this is only for the goddess form, the armory, but it's still nice to have. Which is also why, as you might notice over there, there's like 3 chests right next to each other. Also, you might have noticed, and it is worth warning if you're following along, this is not the only time where we'll be going for a dungeon as Neptune alone. And both times, it is deceptively cruel how easily you can die and take that game over. And this is an old school JRPG. If you game over, you have to load a save. It kicks you back to the title screen. But yeah, it can be deceptively difficult. Like if you've been paying attention to some of the fights already, there's already been a couple close shaves. But if you pay attention to when I cut out, a lot of these will either end with Neptune injured or end with her in purple heart form because I needed the extra defense. Or she can level up. Like you couldn't jump up that, so you couldn't access this teleporter to get here unless you had your jump upgraded in the previous Net games. Like I can't stress enough how pathetic your damn jump was in the previous Net games. Net 3 kind of made it interesting by adding this admittedly kind of cool thing that they just got rid of in this game, where they'd kind of borrowed the Super Mario's invisible blocks, and if you knew where to jump, you could bang your head on it and get free items. And the only way to really tell they were there is that you could see the shadowy outline of them on the ground beneath them. But they don't exist in this game. So she was injured in that one and in Purple Heart, so I got my shit wrecked in that one. Thankfully they've got set that you heal a moment you leave battle, so you don't have to worry about re-entering battle to just heal yourself. Because the only free heal you could get beforehand was a level up. And so you'd obviously try and line up your level up beforehand, so just before you fight the boss you've leveled up. It seems to be the deepest part of the dungeon, but I haven't seen anything. Going off on the usual Neptunia plot progression, a boss monster will appear and I'll get an item for defeating it. Maybe. She had to call it, didn't she? Yeah, it was my prediction, that's spot on. Well, if this is it, at least I know the item's going to drop as soon as I knock the thing out. I won't hold back, prepare yourself. It's something that they kind of bring back on rare occasion in this, but it was every single boss fight in the original Neptunia. One of the biggest criticisms of the original Neptunia is its sporadic difficulty. Like, the difficulty really is all over the place. But one of the things that they did kind of oddly is every single boss fight, without fail, they put you in HDD form. And Virus was nowhere near what it is now, so it was highly likely they would never leave HDD form. And so a lot of boss fights would actually fall apart kind of quickly because they'd start you in the stronger state. Well, I mean, late game they did anyway. Like, I'll never forget, because at the start of chapter 2, you fight Noir, because in Super Dimension, where the first game takes place, all the CPUs hate each other and want each other dead, and it's only by the end of the game they start getting that appreciation, and Noir's huge crush on Neptune starts to become apparent. Before the second game, like I said, was based in a different dimension, and so completely decanonized the original game. And so Noir tries to kill you at the start of chapter 2, and her boss fight is so fucking brutal. Like, you have to grind like 6 or so levels just to stand a remote chance against her, because she just wipes the damn floor of you. But this is the Ancient Dragon, an actual reoccurring boss from one of the older games as well. It's just a namesake. It's just a reoccurring namesake. Like, it's not actually a reoccurring boss per se, but it is kind of cool to have him. There's a lot of little nods and references to the older games in this one. I'll try and point them out, because if any of you are following along as we start, like, none of this will make sense to you, kind of thing. And I've tried my best to try and explain anything that needs to be explained, and anything else the game's explained for me. Oh yeah, this attack, it only does it when it's on its last health bar. The only real concern of it is the poison, because the poison will stack on you. Because it can inflict virus, but it barely inflicts it, and Neptune's purple set should be resistant to it. So you shouldn't really worry about it that much, you should be perfectly fine. But just like that, the Ancient Dragon is defeated. Neptune got worn out and a bit fucked up again, but we still got it. And we also got a cassette tape, which I'll explain what they are in a minute. Phew, it looks like my shares have fallen quite a bit, but it was a good handicap against the level of a monster. Let's see now, where is the Sunshine Soulful patch? What's this? There's a hole in the ground. Was there one here before? Whatever, I'll try digging it up. Where'd she get the shovel? What'd she use, like her fingers? I think I found something. This is an iron box, isn't it? Maybe the item's here. Let's crack this thing open. What's inside? It's a bunch of old cartridges. Whoa, these are all super nostalgic. There's Rolgo 13, Wonderful Boy, August, and even Load Gunner. I can't believe so many archaeological retro games are buried here. Maybe these were the CPU's mementos. So if I search carefully, maybe... Oh, I found it. Soulful is handwritten on this, so it's got to be the cassette. The SSP, yay! I got what I came for, better hurry on home. Yeah, now it's teaching us about disc development. There's little things you can get, yellow, blue and pink gems, and on them they have special abilities. Like, some of them will have resistance to poison, some will have extra defense, extra attack when attacking this specific family of enemy, yada yada. You can put them on a disc and then equip them to someone, but each disc will tell you how strong it's allowed to have. So late game you'll get better discs than what you get early game, which I'm going to be able to show off here by going into disc. What it also mentioned there is that you can make awful games and godly games. To make a godly game or an awful game, you need to make a very specific combination of abilities, and then it'll get an extra perk. Basically, you need to get ones that all together make one big reference to a game of some kind, and then you'll get the godly game of it.
How's that?
Like, if you get like turn-based combat, fantasy setting, and I don't know, something else in that line, you might get one that's a reference to Final Fantasy, for instance. But to be honest, a lot of the godly games, like, because they're so specific, they kind of end up having their own issues, and so I don't usually bother with godly games, because it's like, oh, it's all cool and all, but you're sacrificing these other bonuses that you might actually want, a kind of thing, for all these very specific things. And I do go on a bit of a purchasing spree and realise that the sword they're selling is actually better than the sword I've got now. So I got rank 8 and they're rank 12. So now it's talk to IF.
Iffy? Compa? I'm home! How's Isty doing? Welcome home, Nep. Isty is still passed out. No new developments here.
How'd it go, Nep? Did you find the item?
Ta-da! You better believe it. Wow, you're amazing, Nep. I knew you could do it if you tried.
You just gotta make sure to thank the other CPUs after this is over, alright? They helped you out even when things got really rough out there, after all.
Yeah, I know it. I wouldn't have been able to do it without them, so I'm gonna treat them all to something nice when it's all over.
Alright, so where's the item you brought? Can you hand it over, please? I want to hurry and install it in Histoire.
But how are we supposed to insert this weird cassette thing into Isti? Maybe somewhere on her back?
I just looked all over her, but I didn't see any slot that was shaped like that. Did that thing come with an instruction manual?
Nope, none.
Well, that's no good. Even when we have the solution to her problem, we can't even get it to work.
I know. How about sticking this cassette in Isti's mouth?
What?
I think that might be a little bit of a stretch. Let's keep looking for another way. It's completely fine. Isti's tough. She can handle it. Here we go. Now, we're all prepped and ready to go.
We can't show this face to anyone.
Starting automatic program. Checking update patch. Beginning installation.
I can't believe it's actually installing this way. It's kind of an insane design.
Maybe the CPU from back then had a similar personality to old Nep over here. So, how long do you think it'll take for the patch to install? It's unclear. We'll just have to believe in Isti and wait for her to recover. You're right. We'll put all our faith in Isti then. I hope she gets better soon.
And that's the end of the chapter. So we get another Nep station. Also, after this, the VR section we're going to get is going to be the last one for a little while, for reasons that will become clear next part. It's been a while since this program's aired. You're here live today with the host Neptune and Noir, also known as the CPU of Lust Station. Oh, as expected, Noir, you always introduce yourself so darn properly. What's with that? Introducing myself properly? How are you guys doing it until now? Well, I mean, I figured those playing the games know us pretty well already, so like, you know, whatever, it's cool. I can't believe you. There are always newcomers, so you should always explain things to everyone. I've thought about this for a while, but since we're here, I'll say it clearly. If you, as the protagonist, act like this, new players who've taken interest are going to get left behind. This isn't the kind of playful banter you'd hear backstage on talk shows, so you have to explain properly. In the first place, your self-awareness, as the face of this series, is stop. What is this, Newfomatimo? Whatever the fuck that is. This isn't a freaking public channel, you weirdos. It's a specialised entertainment. I listen to your lecturing after hours all the time, so ease up during the show. Jeez. Oh, even I can't put up with this pudding. Someone bring me pudding at least. Very well. Then after this is over, let's have a long talk about with Histoire included. Now then, Neptune has a deathly pallor on her face. Let's move on to the episode preview. Stop it! R4's special ability burns up Nepgear's share crystal. Her mind will burn up as well. Please don't die, Nepgear. If you fall here, what will happen to your promise with Uzume and Umio? You still have some share energy left. If you make it through this, you can win against R4. Next episode, Nepgear dies. Dimension ready. Huh? Spoilers in the episode preview, amateurs. You've probably gathered already, but they're extremely exaggerant with the episode previews. Don't take them seriously. Next time on the Neptunia VIIR, we're going to find out what's actually going on with Nepgear and Uzume on that side of the pond. So until then, you guys take care now.
Yoo-hoo! Hello! How have you been? About that hardware that could play those games? I couldn't find it after all. Things just don't work out sometimes. Oh, right! Just when I was getting bummed out over my hardware search, I found a skyfish! As I was hurrying after it, I almost fell off a cliff.
Ugh, you're too careless. If I get squashed under you one more time, please stop causing me so much trouble.
I know. I feel bad for not watching my surroundings, but... Oh! But you know what that means? It means I was concentrating so hard that I couldn't see around me. Concentration is a versatile trait to have in any situation. I'd prefer positive reinforcement, so I'd rather you not get so angry. Oh, and just FYI, I happen to be praised and worshipped as the goddess of concentration throughout all of game industry.
Oh, please, that's the most ridiculous lie ever.
So anyway, back to the story of me seeing a skyfish. Player, do you believe that life forms others doubt the existence of actually exist? Ooh, you do? So we're the same? It's more interesting if they do. It lets us dream and hope. Now then. Break time's over, so I'll be getting back to nabbing the skyfish. We'll be heading out now. I had a lot of fun today. Let me visit again soon.
No way! The transfer terminal!
Uzume, are you okay?
You damn idiot! Do you understand the implications of what you just did?
But the way things were going, you would have...
I ain't having it! It was your chance to go home! We worked so hard and you just friggin' blew it!
Uzume, nothing can be done about that now. What's done is done. Please focus your energy on finding a means of escaping.
We'll talk about this later, Gearsy. Let's force our way through the front. Stay close, you two.
Right.